Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Iris Podcast. I'm your host, Bowsy. Joining me here today, we have BethCon and we have NPC. How are you two doing on this fine Monday evening?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing really good. The holiday season is among us, and there's a lot of things going on. Don't you dare say the word.
He said among us. He said
He
it.
did say among us.
He said it, chat. Oh my god.
All right, well, that was the Iris Podcast.
I was ready for the applause.
Joining me.
Experience.
That out of the way. Let's get into what we're going to be focusing on here today. This is the final week of the Tranquility season as we know it. Of course, we have two finals this week to be wrapping up our season, but we have to look back on last week as we crowned yet another champion in our Transcendence tier after 9 seasons. The Starchy Org has finally brought it home. Congratulations to the Decapitators, winning their first championship in Tranquility Gaming, claiming the Transcendence Tier Championship last week over the Devil Dukes 4-1. Just some thoughts on that matchup as it stood. Beth, we'll start with you.
It was a hell of a game. Honestly, it was so fun to cast, so much fun to watch. The Decapitators were in top form, really proving that their undefeated season and their run this season was not a fluke. It was not a joke. They just kind of handily carried themselves through it, and it was an absolute blast.
NPC, your thoughts?
You know, they finally made it. They finally made it. And all it took was PDK and Smugs. All it took was just this ridiculously stacked roster. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all you need to win.
All it took was an all-star roster to.
It was almost unfair.
Almost. There may or may not have been a rule or two influence because of that, but
no, it's fine. But yes, it's finally happened. And as a player on a potato team, I guess that makes me champion by proxy. That's okay. Production says no, that's not accurate. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It really was a good game to watch. I mean, it was a rough start for the Decapitators. Like, I was really sweating there for a while because, I mean, the first map was Oasis, right? It was 0-2 Devil Dukes. It was just like a blowout. And then I don't know what happened, but
cameras got turned on and
they turned on their monitors, I guess. And then they just boom. All of a sudden, it was like 2-1 Eichenwald. Like the Decapitators didn't even let them cross the bridge on Eichenwald, right? Dorado, they held them at the fountain first point. They didn't even capture the first point. Coliseum was a little bit closer, but that's what push maps are like. And then Ilios was just 2-0. It was just like, I don't know. The Decapitators just turned on, and there they were. So fantastic gameplay coming out of everybody, but well-deserved for the Decapitators.
Definitely well-deserved for the Decapitators. I had the honor of observing this game as Beth also had the honor of casting this game, so we had the first-hand experience of the Decapitators, and really, it definitely felt like a flame started to get ignited after map number 1 for Decaps. Obviously, Devil Dukes came out really swinging on that first map. They showed a really strong performance, and the Decapitators, they didn't look strong, but once they got after that first map, it seemed like the ball started rolling for the Decapitators, and the Devil Dukes just couldn't respond as accordingly as they needed to. So, in the end of the day, it was the Decapitators coming out on top. So, congratulations once again to the Decapitators for winning the Transcendence Tier Grand Finals, claiming the first championship for the Starchy Org in the 9 seasons they've been here in Tranquility. It only took 9 seasons, but it happened finally after so long. But Obviously, I talked with NPC about, hey, there's a lot of all-star talent that was on that team for the Decapitators. That leads us right into our sections for today. As you are aware, recently our all-star nominees were introduced or at least our all-star rosters were introduced, but not the official rosters. And that's where we come to today, where we are going to be drafting the all-stars teams. And we're going to start off in the Transcendence tier to start off. Of course, your all-star nominees are all there in accordance. BethCon is going to be the representative for the Indigo team, and NPC is going to be the representative for the Aurum team. Beth, we're going to start with you, as NPC has declared prior to the broadcast that you are allowed to start this time. So
I've deferred. I've deferred to Beth for the first one.
Fair enough. So the way this is going to work is you are going to pick a role, and then you're going to pick which player you want from that role. We'll cover that role, and then the other person will cover the next. We'll start the next role, and then we'll go down from there until every name on this list is crossed out and put onto one of these two teams. So, Beth, we'll start with you. What role would you like to pick from first?
I'd like to pick from tanks first.
All right, we'll start with the tanks. Who is your first pick from the tank category?
Hardcore biased, being a tank main myself, but my first pick is PDK. Again, casting the SEAL Team Spuds game, not SEAL Team Spuds, excuse me, decaps. I can never keep the potatoes straight. Casting the decaps game, watching him play, really just blowing up the entire world on Sigma. Absolutely have to hand it to him and take him as my first pick.
All right, the first ball has been thrown. NPC, who is your pick for tank?
Oh, tank. Let me see. See, I've beaten PDK at a Junkrat 1v1, so I know he has weaknesses. I know that they can be exploited, and I think that Andy is the one to exploit those weaknesses.
All right, that is Andy, GDH, formerly of Gonhead, now of Decapitators. PDK's teammate being taken as well there. Beth, you get one more tank choice. Who is your choice for your second tank on Team Indigo?
I am going to go with Tyler from the Guangzhou Gangsters for my second tank pick.
Tyler, a very strong force over there on the Guangzhou Gangsters. And now, of course, NPC, that leaves you with one, and that is Greninja. Greninja is going to be part of your Aurum team.
And it's just the one I wanted. So
there you go.
You fell right into my trap card.
There you go.
There you go. But now, NPC, you get to choose what role we cover next. Are we going for support? Or are we going for DPS?
Well, you know what? I gotta take support.
All right.
Because if I don't, Beth's going to take Smugs from me. So I got to take Smugs. Playing chess here.
It's like you read my prep document.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Smugs taken for Team Aurum. BethCon, who is your first pick for support?
My first pick for support is LCS from Amnesia.
LCS. Oh, that's not the right one. Google Sheets is fun, but LCS is taken out here from Amnesia. The Chilean difference coming into effect there on Team Indigo. NPC, who's your second pick for support?
Okay, my second pick for support, I got to pick Delphi. Delphi was my coach on the potatoes, so I'm kind of keeping the starch work together here a little bit. Delphi, just fantastic player on the Kiriko. Lots of good game sense, lots of knowledge, knows what he's doing. And will be a very good compliment there with Smugs.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see how well Delphi does there. Beth, now you get to pick your second support pick. Who are you picking?
Which is kind of crazy that they're still on the list, but I am going to go with Capital, the MVP from Amnesia.
There you go. The MVP of the Transcendence tier. Capital now picked up for Team Indigo. NPC, you have two choices, True Donger and Chromed Zephyr. Who's your pick for your final support?
Well, in that case, I'm going to take True Donger.
All right, True Donger, the final pick here from that category. Beth, you're left with Chromed Zephyr as your final support. If I can spell Chrome Zephyr's name right, I apologize. But now you get the advantage because now you get to pick your first DPS pick.
And I am going to go with Haru Hiro from Guangzhou Gangsters.
Haru Hiro picked up here from the Guangzhou Gangsters onto Team Indigo. NPC, who's your pick for your first DPS?
My first DPS is going to be Orsted. Not only the Season 1 MVP, but my teammate from Season 2, and also a teammate of Delphi. So if I put those two together there on the death cards, I put them together here, I've got that teammate synergy. I feel like that's gonna help them out a lot.
We'll definitely see how well Orsted's able to do with teammate Delphi. Beth, you get your second DPS pick. Who are you picking?
And I'm going to pick somebody who really popped off during the final match that I cast the other day, and that is GLD on the Devil Dukes.
All right, GLD, the sole Devil Dukes representative here in the Transcendence Tier All-Star lineup. So getting some love there for Team Indigo. NPC, who you picking for your Team Aurum second DPS?
Second DPS. Let me see here. I got to decide which one Beth is going to pick, and then I'll pick that one. So
I'm over
that
here
it'll leave me with the other one I want,
chess.
right? Which two do I want? Then which one do I need to take away from Beth?
I literally just made a list. I'm going down the list in order.
You go alphabetical. In that case, I'm going to go with Akua.
That was next on my list.
There you go. There you
I
go.
did it, ladies and
NBC
gentlemen.
has found the strategy. So now, Beth, you only have
Big
two
brain. Look at this
choices.
5-head right here.
That 5-head.
I'm gonna pick a little bit of a wild card here and go with Chief from the Billings Boomers. Feel like we didn't talk about them a lot this season, but I know they've got a lot of really good pop-off potential based on seasons past.
Chief, definitely probably the only person that almost swept all of Event Week in a previous season, picked up by Indigo, which means NPC is left with Frozen for Team Aurum. But there is your rosters for the Transcendence Tier All-Stars. Just to recap, on Team Indigo, you have PDK, Tyler, Haru Hero, GLD, Chief, LCS, Capital, and Chromed Zephyr. On Team Aurum, you have Andy, GDH, Greninja, Orsted, Akua, Frozen, Smugs, Delphi, and True Donger. We'll be expecting these two teams to face off once we come back from the new year. But that is your Transcendence Tier All-Stars. We'll be doing the other All-Star drafts later in the night. But first, we of course said goodbye to some noteworthy teams here in our second to last week of Tranquility Gaming, and it's only fitting that we honor those teams with our final installment of In Memoriam. To all those teams that we lost in Season 9 of Tranquility, we thank you all for your service in this season. And for Joey Esports, it's nap time. I was supposed to get a pill already, and I totally forgot.
We can sleep on Joey Esports.
Yeah, we can sleep on them in those Joey Esports branded pajamas, as the in memoriam message said. And I already typed an exclamation point store in the chat. Where the Duke's at, I have made it so that I do not include teams from the finals, PDK. So
that's nice. My team lost in finals one year, and we were still in memoriam. You're much kinder.
Yeah, I am much kinder. If you made it to finals, congrats. You don't get to made fun of. I had a good one for Devil Dukes too. I was going to reveal it, but I didn't want to spoil the mood. But regardless of which, obviously, thank you all again for all those teams that were in memoriam. We hope to see you once again in Season 10. Now, we have some finals to go over. Of course, we have 2 finals matches to go over. And actually, before I get to that, Dabmaster was redeeming a bunch of those giveaway entries. Make sure you get those giveaway entries in, as we are giving away a free t-shirt at the end of the broadcast.
Tranquility shirt.
A free
or a team that you may have played on, or one with my head on it. You could get one of those.
Yeah, you can get any one of those shirts available at our store. You can get those. You usually get those at our store, but you can get a free one, or at least get the chance to win a free one later in the broadcast. So make sure you get those giveaway entries in. I'm already seeing them flooding the chat, which is what I like to see. Get those entries in.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into what our main focus is here. Apart from the All-Stars, it's the final week of the Tranquility season, which means we have 2 finals to cover. First off is our Harmony Tier Finals, where the Koala Kings will face off against Geometric on Tuesday to determine who will become the Season 9 champion. If Koala Kings are going to win their second championship, or if Geometric is going to win their first. Before we get into our predictions for the match, I want to focus on what players you are going to be watching for this matchup. Starting off with you, Beth, who are you looking for on the sides of either of these teams heading into the match tomorrow?
All right, so focusing in on Geometric, again, cast your bias because I cast their most recent game, but I'm going to be looking at Jin on DPS and Wooly on support for that team. Jin had some incredible pop-off plays. She was really playing very, very well, especially on Reaper, just all over very good DPS from her. Wooly on support is usually playing main support. I feel like main supports don't get a lot of love, but he was able to get a lot of really solid kills and really support his team well, so I feel like he's a player to watch out for as well.
Wooly, the Australian differential, coming in strong for these past couple matches. We'll hopefully see if Wooly is going to be able to help Geometric as well as with Jin trying to secure that championship. NPC, who are you watching for on either of these team sides heading into tomorrow's matchup?
I am a tank player, so I love seeing good tank play, and I want to see Tomas from the Koala Kings pop off. I watched their most recent game, which was extremely recent, by the way. It was just yesterday.
Yes.
And Tomas was doing just a fantastic job of getting in there and making the space to make plays. Typically not the most flashiest, doesn't always show up in the kill feed, but definitely a part of every single play and a very critical piece to how that team works. So I definitely want to see Tomas play a tank, all the tanks. Like we saw a bunch yesterday, and I think we're going to see a bunch tomorrow coming out of Tomas from the Koala Kings.
Koala Kings definitely have Thomas on that linchpin, or Tomas, whichever one it is, on that linchpin helping them out in that matchup.
Can I jump in real quick again? I'm sorry.
Sure thing.
Used wrong pronouns for Wooly. Sorry. So I think that they're going to do very well in the matchup coming up. Keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
My apologies for that.
Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, definitely. But yeah, Wooly definitely good. Thomas also definitely a strong linchpin for the Koala Kings. We'll see if they are able to make an impact. I'm gonna focus on the DPS line for Koala Kings. Obviously, Kilroy has been a beast. Definitely might have been snubbed for that All-Star nomination. But I'm going to focus on somebody who showed a lot of strong performance yesterday in the matchup versus the Flashbacks. Someone already mentioned it in chat. I'm mentioning Pomku, a.k.a. Kumpu, on the side of the Koala Kings. Yes, BefCon, you give that look, but that is their name in Overwatch, regardless of which. Pomku has been a strong part of that DPS core. Them and Kilroy do really strong in that DPS core. They do a lot of great work overall in the DPS line. And really, Pomku showed up a lot yesterday when it mattered the most. So I'm giving my mention to Pomku. I think that they're going to be one to watch when it comes to tomorrow's matchup. Now, it's time for the hardest part, predicting this match. Beth, we're going to start with you. Of these two teams, who's coming out on top and what's the scoreline?
I am going to go with Geometric coming out on top of this one. I think Koala Kings are a very strong team, but I think Geometric also still has some really good momentum going for them. I think it is going to be close, though. I'm going to give them a 4-3.
NPC, who is your pick to win the Harmony Tier Championship?
I am hoping for a map 7. I want to see the 4-3, but I'm also going to give it to Geometric because I have a personal policy that I cannot predict for any marsupial team. So that's just, how it is. I got to. It's the law.
Forever sleeping on the marsupial team. I see how it is.
Yes.
I am actually going to go for the Koala King side here. Not just because I feel like my predictions are already down the drain. They are. But I think the Koala Kings definitely have shown strong performance, especially yesterday against the Flashbacks, winning 4-1 after beating them earlier in the season. I think definitely the Koala Kings have a chance. I'm going to give it a 4-1 for the Koala Kings, but I wouldn't be surprised if Geometric brought that even closer. But there you go. There is your first finals preview. Again, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where the Koala Kings and Geometric will fight for a chance to claim the Season 9 Harmony Tier Championship. Now, with that out of the way, I mentioned All-Stars during my section about the players. It's time to drop the Harmony North American All-Stars. NPC, because you started second in the last one, you get priority in terms of choosing which role we get to choose first here. So, I'm going to let you decide which role we're starting with. Tank, DPS, or support?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go with Tank. I'm gonna keep that tradition alive and pick Tank first.
All right. And who is your first pick for Tank?
I gotta go with Chobi. I mean, it's Chobin time.
It is Chobin time. It is no longer Chokin time. Chobi gonna be the first pick for Team Aurum and is your inaugural pick for the Harmony NA All-Star teams. Beth, who is your first pick from the Tank category?
I think I'm losing it tonight because I put down like person's name and person's team, and I just wrote Chobi for mine.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
Chobi.
Once again,
team,
my big
but...
brain here.
Yeah. But since NPC took Chobi, I'm gonna go with Nova from Aces High.
Nova from Ace High, definitely a strong pick over there. We'll see if it's able to match up with Chobi. NPC, you get one more Tank choice. You have Oa and Pasty. Who's your pick?
Pasty.
Flashback's main tank
Easy.
is the other
Very
tank,
easy.
which means that BethCon is getting Oa for their tank pick. Now, Beth, you get to choose our next role and the first pick from that role. Are we choosing DPS or support next?
I want to go to DPS next.
All right. Who's your first pick from DPS?
I'm going to take Xeno from Flashbacks, MVP of the tier. I have picked up MVPs for both of my teams so far.
BethCon taking both of those MVPs so far. NPC, who is your pick for Team Aurum's first DPS player?
Well, you know what? I see Beth going alphabetically here. Trying to go Chobi first and then Xeno, which means I should probably take. I'm looking at Beth's tanks here, and I'm trying to decide what their tank pools are, and then what my DPS pools are going to need to play. You know what? I see Phantom in the chat, but I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to take Be Well because I'm going alphabetical here.
Be Well, also from the Flashbacks, and as Xeno's very well-known partner on that DPS role. Beth, who's your second pick for Team Indigo DPS?
Oh god, I was gonna pick Phantom, but it's more funny to make him wait.
I'm so sorry. He's going off in the chat like, Beth, pick me, I'm here. Oh, NPC, pick me.
Phantom is that one kid in class that always wants to be called on, and that is sadly the case right now.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Phantom. I don't have any control over this.
No, I'll just pick up Phantom.
All right.
Who's next on my list anyways.
All right, good choice.
Phantom is picked up for Team Indigo. NPC, who's your next pick?
Okay, then in that case, I'm going to go ahead and take Tilted Waffle.
God, that was my next pick too.
Tilted Waffle
yep.
picked up there for the side of Aurum. Beth, your final DPS pick, Vex or Hasdio?
I'm gonna take Hasdio from Insidious.
All right, Hasdio picked up. I don't know why that didn't capitalize, but regardless of that, Vex is going to be going over to the Aurum side, and that leaves now the supports. NPC, you get the first pick for support. Who you picking of the six?
Let me look here. I'm trying to decide if we should go back to alphabetical order because I feel like that's what Beth's going to do.
I'm going to be here a long
I
day.
put a
But
little
I'm going to
bit more
mix it
thought
up.
into that
I'm going to
than
mix
this.
it up here. I'm going to go with Coconut.
Coconut from the Flashbacks picked up as the first support in Team Aurum. Beth, who's the first support for Team Indigo?
I'm gonna go with Bubbles from Galactic for the first support.
Bubbles.
And
from
it's not
Galactic
alphabetical.
Penguins.
It's not alphabetical on purpose.
Okay, whatever you say.
Sure.
Just because I was at work until 7:45 p.m. doesn't mean I didn't put a little bit of thought into this.
Sure. Anyway, NVC, who's your second support pick for Team Aurum?
Well, Beth's going to go in alphabetical order, so I'm going to try to take Dak Game Boy. I'm going to take that one. Okay, because I don't want Beth to have it, and then Beth is gonna pick Drowsy.
No, I'm gonna pick Hypno.
Oh, okay.
I promise I wasn't actually going alphabetical. It just happened that way. But no, I'm going with Hypno for Mace High for my pick.
All right, now NPC, you get your final pick for support. Onyx or Drowsy?
You know what? I'll take Drowsy.
All right.
I'm going alphabetical right now.
All right, Drowsy.
It's my strat.
Seems to be the strategy. Yeah.
It's going to be a long night. But regardless of which, there are your teams for Harmony NA All-Stars. On Team Indigo is Nova, Owa, Azino, Phantom, Hasdio, Bubbles, Hypno, and Onyx. On the side of Team Aurum is Chobi, Pasty, B-Wheels, Tilted Waffle, Vex, Coconut, Dak Game Boy, and Drowsy. There is your Harmony Tier All-Stars. Make sure you stay tuned to those, again, when the new year comes. We're going to wrap up our broadcast here. It's a quick one. Obviously, we're only 30 minutes in, which means that we're already setting a world record pace. But regardless of which, we have one more final that we're going to be previewing for this next week, and that is our Discord Tier Finals. And who would have thought the preseason finals are once again back in the grand finals? Reminiscence and MI7 face off for the third time this season. The winner goes home with not only getting an advantage over the other team in terms of their win rates, but also with the championship. Let's focus on players to watch. Beth, starting with you.
All right. I have not paid that much attention to Discord Tier this season. Mostly been paying attention to Trance and Harmony because I've been casting one and playing the other. But I have been playing close enough attention to Discord Tier to know that Laura on DPS for MI7 is a very strong player and somebody to watch out for. Definitely want to keep an eye on them during this game. I feel like they're going to make a lot of impact and just be a big player in their role.
100% match win rate for Laura. Going to be a pick so far for BEFCON to watch in that match. NPC, who is your pick to watch for in REM versus MI7?
Surprise, surprise. Tank player here looking for Blood Hungry on tank. I love seeing the Overwatch 2 aggressive tank style tanks just don't die. And Blood Hungry could just feed his brains out and not die with the Kiriko and the Sujo and all the it's insane. And I'm just looking to see Blood Hungry make a big difference here.
Blood Hungry going to try to make a big difference. There's a reason his name is mentioned in our current Tranquility intro. But I did not go for Blood Hungry. I went for his tank partner. I went for Choi Soo Hwan, who has been a strong force overall in Tranquility. With Roadhog and Sigma being prevalent in the meta, Choi Soo Hwan has had a field day. I don't think there is anything else arguing against that. Choi Soo Hwan has been a strong force for Reminiscence on that tank line. And I mean, having both Blood Hungry and Choi Soo Hwan, it's kind of difficult to have a tank line that is better than that. So I think Choi Soo Hwan definitely be one to watch up against MI7. Now let's get to the predictions. Who is winning the Discord Tier Grand Finals? Starting with you, Beth.
I am going to give this one to MI7. Like I said, I feel like they've been a very strong team this whole time going through. I really believe a lot in a lot of their players to be really strong. I think they're going to win it. It's going to be close, but maybe not as close as the last one we predicted. So I'm going to give them a 4-2.
NPC, who is your pick to win the Discord Tier Finals?
Okay, like you said, tank line between Choi and Blood Hungry. I'm thinking it's a fast game for Reminiscence 4-1. I'd love to see a map 7. I really do. I'm going to be cheering for it in the chat. You know, you're gonna see my little copy pastas about map 7s and going all the way. But I feel like Reminiscence is gonna take this one. It's their turn. It's their turn to win.
It is hard to beat the same team twice.
It is. Well, you say that. I mean, yeah, you say that. MI7
in an even matchup.
Right, because both of these teams have had very even matchups. MI7 took one map off of Rem in the preseason finals. Reminiscence took one map off of MI7 in stage 1, week 3. So both of these teams have had a lot of different styles, but they have not played together in Overwatch 2 yet. I think that's going to be a very interesting thing to watch, which is why I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going all in. This was my bracketology prediction. And I'm predicting it again. MI7 4-3 over Reminiscence to take home the title and get themselves their first championship. But make sure you watch that Discord Tier Final. See if we are correct here. See if me and Beth are going to take it home or if NPC is going to get it right. Over on Thursday, that is going to be at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. If there's any changes that we do encounter will be announced on our website at tranquility.gg. Now, of course, it's time for our final drafting session of the night, the one that I've been bickered about to try and have somebody else draft, the Discord tier. We are going to start off with the Discord tier. Beth is going to start once again, and Beth, you get to choose your first role. Which role are you picking first?
I am going to go with DPS first on this one, and I'm going to pick up Laura from MI7. Already simped for him hard enough in the previous one, so I'm not going to repeat myself.
Yeah, that was okay. Okay, I could see it. I thought you were gonna go with Ashes, but that's all right.
All right. Look, we've already established that the strategy is already gone, NBC. It's
okay,
not
yes. Okay. Now she's reversed it. Hit the shuffle button. Let's go. You know what? I'm looking at these names, and I'm trying to decide what's going to be best to complement the tanks that I want to have and the supports that I want to have. And I think I'm going to go with Reborn.
Reborn on the side of Reminiscence. We'll see if that works into NBC's favor for Team Aurum. Beth, who's your second pick for DPS?
Return of #biased Beth. I'm going to pick my previous teammate Toxic on SEAL Team Spuds.
Toxic Blade 47, now known as simply Toxic, now taken for Team Indigo. NPC, who's your second pick for DPS?
I'm doing the math here. I'm really slow. I'm old. I'm doing math, and it's gonna be Ashes.
All right, NPC taking Ashes. That leaves Beth with Tanic B and Sempra. Who's your pick?
I am going to pick up Sempra from Joey.
All right, Sempra from Joey Esports, which means that NPC is left with Tanic B on that DPS role. But it's not all bad, NPC, because you get to choose what role we're covering next, tank or support.
So if I've got Reborn, Ashes, and Tanic B, thinking about their player pool, and I'm thinking about... In this case, I probably want to go to tank because there's fewer of them.
All right. Well, who are you picking first from the tank
And
role?
big surprise, I'm going to go Blood Hungry.
I'm not surprised whatsoever. Blood Hungry being the first tank picked up for Team Aurum. Beth, who are you picking for Team Indigo?
All right. Picking up their counterpart in Choi Soo Hwan for my first tank.
Choi Soo Hwan also picked up. They're going to have to face off against each other once again. NPC, who is your second tank pick, Sam or B-Ball Man?
As fun as it would be to say B-Ball Man 69. You know what? I think I'll take that one. It sounds nice. It sounds very nice.
You could have just wiped it out right there, but still, B-Ball Man 69 being taken for Team Aurum. Sam
I got the
from
B's.
MI7.
I got the B's on my team. The higher alphabetical.
Yeah, there you go. Sam from MI7 going over to Team Indigo, and that leaves us now with the supports. Beth, you get first pick. Who's your first support that you're taking for Team Indigo?
All right, first support that I'm taking for Team Indigo, based entirely on the fact that cons have to stick together, I'm going with the Zorthcon from SEAL Team Spuds.
Zorthcon picked up first here. NPC, who's your pick for Team Aurum first support?
Support. I got to go with Try.
And NPC finally picks up one of the MVPs of the season. Bethcon, back to you. Who's your second pick for Team Indigo support?
That's what I get for forgetting to check. That would have been hilarious if it just swept. Anyways, I am going to go with Funjin from MI7.
Funjin taken from MI7. NPC, who are you picking now for your second support pick for Team Aurum?
Okay, well, I swear it's not alphabetical, but I'm going to go with Antonio.
Antonio taken from the Chicago Deep Dish, now going over there to the side of Discord of the Aurum Discord team. Beth, we wrap it up with you. Rocket and Luca, who is going to Team Indigo?
I'm going to pick up Luca from Joey.
All right, Luca from Joey Esports pick, which means Rocket is picked up for Team Aurum on the support category. And there are your teams for the Discord tier North American All-Stars. On Team Indigo, Choi Soo-won, Sam, Laurer, Toxic, Sempra, Zorthcon, Funjin, and Luca. On the side of Team Aurum, Blood Hungry, B-Ball Man, Reborn, Ashes, Tanic B, Try, Antonio, and Rocket. There are all of your All-Star teams for every single tier. Again, we'll be having those All-Star matches occur in the new year. Once we come back into the new year of 2023, we'll be hosting our All-Star matches, so make sure you stay tuned after the holiday season for that. As well as that, we also have announcements. I also have another announcement. Applications for next season are going to be opening soon. Make sure if you're in the Tranquility Gaming Community server that you are watching the announcements, because we will be announcing the applications for Season 10, which again starts in February, so it's not too far away. A little bit of a short off season, but still, we're excited to head into our 10th season of Tranquility. And to wrap up the nights, we mentioned it before about 15 minutes ago. We're going to be giving away a free t-shirt here for the Tranquility store, !store in the chat. So you can pick up a t-shirt. Even if you don't win, you can pick up a t-shirt if you want to. Make it a Christmas gift to yourself or to a friend of yours. But NBC...
Yeah, we got to do a drawing. We got to do a drawing for a free t-shirt. This t-shirt right here. This exact one, worn by me.
Makes it
just
extra
kidding. You'll get a
special.
brand new one. You get a brand new one.
Yeah, no, you get to choose your own.
Unfortunately, sadly, you'll have to get a brand new one. You can't get a game-worn jersey.
You'll have to get a new one. It's fine. You can have your own logo on it. You can have your own text on it. It doesn't just have to be a blank Tranquility logo.
You can customize it.
It could even be one of NPC's head.
Yeah, it's true. It's in there. It's in the store. You got to scroll for it because it was
NPC,
early seasons, but it was there.
Dex in chat is offering you $100 for your shirt, so might want to hit him up on that afterwards.
Yeah. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. Okay. So, all right. It looks like our winner is.
Is it really?
It's Dab Master.
Oh.
Sometimes I wish I could rig this.
Ew. Dab Master, man.
I mean, I wish I had it in my heart to rig it.
I wish.
Congratulations to Dab Master.
I mean, it's better than Chobi winning for the 5th time this season.
That's true.
No offense to Chobi, but please give some shirts out to your teammates.
Yeah.
Regardless of which, congratulations, Dab Master, for winning the t-shirt from the Tranquility store. You'll be getting information about that as soon as possible. But I mean, hey, it's a short show today, only 30 minutes. I think this is the world record.
Probably. I mean, that's what happens when Mr. Yeti's not on the cast.
Yeah, that's what happens. Mr. Yeti doesn't ramble on about the All-Star picks. I could do that, but I don't want to waste time because,
All right.
Yeah.
Yeti's got a lot of things to communicate. We are gonna. I think we're gonna be hearing some more announcements. Check the announcements channel in the Discord to hear more from Mr. Yeti about season 10.
Yes.
About applications. About all kinds of good things coming up. We got a bunch of cool stuff planned for the finals week. This whole week. Be sure to tune in to those 2 matches that we have scheduled. We're gonna have all sorts of good fun during those things. So go ahead and tune in for those, and we will be hearing from Mr. Yeti some more in the announcements channel. So just because he's not here on the podcast with us to take up airtime doesn't mean he's not with us in spirit in the Discord. And he's pinging me right now. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize.
In other
for the
news,
things
the
I said.
NPC Mr. Yeti cage match will be taking place in person sometime this summer. So
that'll be on Wednesday because we don't have a Transcendence match.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Regardless of which, that is all we have here for today. We thank you all for watching. For Beth and NPC, we thank you all for gazing into the iris. My name is Bowsy. Until we meet again, we hope you have an amazing night and have a wonderful holiday season. We hope to catch you for the Harmony tier and Discord tier finals later this week. Catch you all later.
Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.